It's okay, I think. Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Koloe Dase Trinapeka Atihina Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Koloe Dase Trinapeka Sakala Sahane Balodiya Koro Sakala Sahane Nijamane Srihahina Nijamane Srihahina Nijamane Sprihahina Sakale Samana Karite Sakati Dehamo Natadata Sakale Samana Karite Sakati Deho Nata Jata Jata Tapito Gaiba Hare Nama Suke Apito Gaiba Hare Nama Suke Aparada Behata Aparada Behata Aparada Behata Kabe heno kripa labie jana kritata hoy benata Shakti buddhihin ame atidin Shakti Buddhi Ame Atidi Kolo More Atma Sata Kolo More Atma Sata Yogyata vichare kichu nahi pai tomara karuna sara Yogyat vichare kichu nahi pai tomara Karuna Saram Karuna na hoile Kandiya Kandiya Karuna na hoile Kandiya Kandiya Karuna na hoile Kandiya Kandiya Prananara Kivavara Prananara Kivavara Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diyam Oroe Dase Chinapeka Dihina Shivam Shivadan Maharaj Prabhu ki. So today's the appearance day of Srila Vamsi Vadana Thakur. After all that, I hope he's in this book. Let's have a look. Vamsidas 152. Huh? Yeah, I know. Okay. When Vamsi Vadananda Thakur, Vamsidas, Vamsivadananda Thakur appeared, Lord Chaitanya and Sri Advaita Prabhu were staying in his home. In other words, he was born then, when Lord Chaitanya and Advaita Prabhu were staying in his home. After the disappearance of Srimati Vishnu Priya Devi, Vamsi Das moved her Mahaprabhu deity to Koladweep, present-day city of Navadweep. Who's been to that temple in Navadweep? We go every year on the Navadweep Manda Parikrama. We have a big kirtan in front of the deity of Vishnu Priya. Has anyone done kirtan there? No, some of you have not. You have something to look forward to. Very nice kirtan there, beautiful deity in Koladweep. He began worshipping him along with Pranabalab, a deity of Krishna. Vamsivadana wrote wonderful poems and songs expressing the philosophy of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. That's a big name for us. This is our title. We are Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas means the pure devotee of Krishna or Vishnu. And Gaudiya means coming from Gaudiya. This was in West Bengal, which is West Bengal now. It's associated with Lord Chaitanya, Gora. But the capital of West Bengal was Goda when Lord Chaitanya initiated Rupa and Sanatana Goswamis. And so we're called Gaudiya Vaishnavas. We are a branch of the Madhva Sampradaya, coming from Madhvacharya through Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we have our different characteristics because we are coming in line of Lord Chaitanya, who revealed many things which had never been revealed before. Prema Pumato Mahan, Lord Chaitanya, revealed that the highest goal of human life is not Artha Dharma Kama Moksha, but Prema Pumato Mahan, to love of God, pure love of God. So He was also the incarnation of who? Anyone got the book? It's a giveaway. Vamsi Vadananda Thakur. So who do you think he's an incarnation of? My accordion? No. No, he's Krishna's flute. Incarnation. He is also the incarnation of Lord Murli Manohara's flute. So it's not surprising that Vamsi Vadana Thakur's works contain sweet, mellow expressions of devotion. Srila Vamsi Vadananda Thakur ki. Okay. Next, we will go on to hear about Shyamananda Prabhu. So, Shyamananda is more of a prominent Vaishnava, but Shyamananda. Shyamananda Prabhu. Okay. So one of the branches of Gaudiya Vaishnava was started by him, Shyamananda Prabhu. Shyamananda Sampradaya, which is prominent in Orissa, was started. He was a Guru Bhai of Narottam Das and Srinivasacharya. And you probably already know, but they were together on the first Transcendental Book Distribution Party. Transcendental Book Distribution Party. Ki. But unfortunately, something happened. I'll tell you about it, hopefully. Sri Shyamananda Prabhu. Feeling very sad, dukhi, over losing several children before his birth, his parents named him Dukhi Krishna Das. Upon taking Diksha from Hriday Chaitanya, he became known as Krishna Das. In Vrindavan, he joined Narottam Das Thakur and Srinivasacharya to study the Goswami Granthas under Sri Jiva Goswami. Many ankle bells stories describe how Krishnadas received Radharani's mercy, the name Shyamananda, and his unique tilak mark. So, this is one version of that story. So, Krishnadas used to sweep the streets of Vrindavan before dawn. And so that the Vaishnavas wouldn't hurt their feet when they're walking to the 7 temples or to the different temples. So he would sweep the pebbles from the street. So one morning, maybe in those days it was just cobbled, it wasn't cobbled or stone streets, it was probably just mud paths. But sometimes pebbles get there. One morning he found a captivating, beautiful golden ankle bracelet. Nupur, what do you say, Nupur? Nupur. When Lalita and Vishaka Sakis asked for the bracelet, Krishnadas said he would only give it to the original owner. So he must have understood this is no ordinary Nupur, and it must belong to who? Radharani. Yeah. So these beautiful Sakis came and they said, "Oh, our mistress has lost her nupura this morning. I think you have it. Can you give it back? And he said, well, no. I want to make sure it gets to the right person. So I only want to give it to your mistress. So, blindfolding Krishnadas, the gopis brought him to Srimati Radhika. She allowed him to put the bracelet on her ankle. But before fastening it, Krishnadas reverentially touched it to his forehead. This left a new tilak mark, which now distinguishes all of Shyamananda's followers. It's slightly different. Rejoicing over Krishnadas's transcendental fortune, Sri Jiva Goswami awarded him the name Shyamananda, one who pleases Srimati Radharani, or the servant of Shyamasundara Krishna. So there was a big problem came, because his Guru Maharaj wanted to know how you've changed your tilak and your name. I gave you a Diksha name, and now you've changed your tilak. And he came storming into Vrindavan, and there was a big hullabaloo, a big quarrel. And but eventually it was resolved. I don't have all the details in my memory, but in a dream, Hridaya Chaitanya was satisfied that this was bona fide. Because your disciple shouldn't change his name or change his tilak to another sampradaya, because he's your disciple. So it was a scandal how this could have happened. You know, it's not bona fide. So they came to Vrindavan, there was a confrontation. There was a very nice... What was that? Well, how did he prove it? That's right. He said, all right, if this tilak is bona fide, I'll wash it off. If it comes back, it's bona fide. So he tried to wash it off, but it kept coming back. And that's one story. Anyway. More important, in a way, sometime after Hridaya Chaitanya's disappearance, he reappeared in a dream telling Shyamananda to preach. With the help of his foremost disciple, Shyamananda profusely spread the worship and service of Gaura Nityananda all over Orissa. 24-hour kirtan surrounds Shyamananda's Pushpa Samadhi, which is located on the opposite side of the street running between Radha Shyamasundar and Radha Damodar temples in Vrindavan. So as I said, the Goswamis wanted their books taken to West Bengal for copying, because they were all written on handwritten paper, and they were put in a big trunk, and there was a bullock cart, and they set off to go to West Bengal from Vrindavan, the three of them, Srinivas, Narottam and Shyamananda. And they took rest in the forest, and the king, the local king, Vishnu, I forgot what his name was, he had detected by astrology the most wonderful treasure is going through your kingdom. So he sent his men, they stole the trunk, they stole the bullock, the cart, the trunk on the bullock cart in the middle of the night whilst they were sleeping. So you could just imagine, they weren't just like Bhagavad Gitas, you print 10,000, 100,000. If you lose one, it doesn't matter. Well, it does matter, but it's not the end of the world. But these were original copies. And they were all stolen in the middle of the night. Can you imagine it? Total anxiety And they were trying to figure out what to do. They felt like committing suicide. They'd failed in their mission to take the books for copying in West Bengal. So they decided that Narottam Das would go on to Bengal and Shyamananda would go to Orissa for preaching. And Srinivasacharya would try and find the books, which he did. So that was how that book distribution leela took place. So even those days, the idea of distributing granthas or books was there. Fortunately, I was just in Vrindavan. I went to Radha Damodar temple and I sat in the room where Prabhupada was writing Srimad Bhagavatam, and he was looking through the window and he was looking at the samadhi of Rupa Goswami, and he was guided by Rupa Goswami in his heart to write the Srimad Bhagavatam and take the books not just to Bengal, but take the books to America, to the Western world. On the order of his Guru Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. You know the Leela, but we can hear it again and again. One time in Radhakund, Prabhupada was walking with his Guru Maharaj. Prabhupada had his young son with him, Vrindavan. His son was called Vrindavan. And his Guru Maharaj was troubled. He was troubled because they had got this nice marble temple built for them in Bagh Bazar, Calcutta. And the disciples were fighting amongst themselves, quarreling amongst themselves. Who will have this room? Who will have that room? I want that room. That's a better room than mine. Why have you got this room and I haven't? So they're very neophyte. Neophyte devotee we have some attachments, material attachments. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he told Prabhupada confidentially, he said, I would rather sell the marble in this Bagh Bazar temple. It's not doing any good. It's not doing my disciples any good. They're quarreling over the marble, the facilities. So if ever you get money, you print books. If ever you get money, print books. Because actually how is it this beautiful temple is coming up? And many temples in Delhi. Why are beautiful temples coming up? Yeah, because they have a special foundation. Yeah, the books, Prabhupada's books. Prabhupada's books. If Prabhupada hadn't taken the books to America, could he have done anything? Possibly done something, but nothing substantial. Because when his disciples read those books, they realized it just wasn't Prabhupada. There's a whole culture, Bhagavat culture behind Prabhupada, in disciplic succession, whole Vedic literature. Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Now is the time to inquire about the absolute truth. Janmadayasya yataha. Janmadayasya yataha. Taratas kates vabhigna svara tejo varimridam yata vinamayo yatro visago misham. So the Srimad Bhagavatam and the Bhagavat, the person who's speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, he's teaching the absolute truth from which everything comes, creation, maintenance and destruction. So devotees could understand that. These books are the greatest treasure of India. So we're building all these temples, we're spreading this culture in India. and all over the world on the basis of these books. Even in Congo. It's totally amazing. Because they've had Christianity stuffed down their throats for the last 400 or 500 years in Congo. And we have French Bhagavad Gita. And we're very careful to do this, what we call target bombing. Target bombing. We can distribute books anywhere, any place, to anybody. But if they get to the leaders, if the books get to the leaders of the society, the mayors, the ministers, the prime ministers, the kings, if they read the books, there can be a quick change in society. So we were very fortunate to cultivate the leading professors at the main university in Congo, and they started to read Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, and they become completely amazed. They said, this is our own culture from before Christianity. This is the original philosophy of the Bantus, the Africans. And it's true, I was studying this. They had basically a Chinta Veda Veda Tattva philosophy with demigods and demons, everything. You know, they weren't stupid. But then they were told there's no such thing as reincarnation, no such thing as karma. You either go to heaven or hell. You've got two choices, heaven or hell. So anyway, they are very happy to read Bhagavad Gita. They've given us a department in Unikin University of epistemology. From Bhagavad Gita we have to check whether all the faculties are following properly what they're teaching, whether their teaching is effective. And other universities also want a department where we teach. We have a library in the university now, and a meeting room where we have classes throughout the week or during the week. Other universities in Congo also want to follow. So this is Prabhupada. Prabhupada is preaching through these books. So Prabhupada said, if we simply print these books in every language, the movement will automatically spread. So you're doing that in India, and it's going on wonderfully. So many temples are opening, so many parts of India. So it's to your credit. And so similarly, Shyamananda, he preached in Orissa, the cult of bhakti, Krishna consciousness. Shyamananda Prabhu King, Srila Prabhupada King. So it's 8:35 now. So one of the earliest books that Prabhupada translated, when I came to London in 1971, there were some books in the temple. There was no Bhagavad Gita, actually. There was an abridged Bhagavad Gita, a shortened version of the Macmillan Gita. Many purports were missing, even verses, I think. But there were the Krishna books. It wasn't just this Krishna book, but two big Krishna books printed in Japan by Dai Nippon. Prabhupada especially went to Japan, and he got these books printed by a donation of George Harrison, the famous Beatle. He gave a donation, I think, of £18,000, which was a huge amount in 1971. I don't know how much, 10 times that much, probably. I don't know, I forgot how many they printed on the first edition, but probably a large amount. So these books were sent to all the temples, and we were thinking how we were going to distribute them. I think you know that story, how the first Krishna books were sold by, what was his name? Keshava. And maybe Gagamuni was there, Buddhimantra. They ran out of petrol, they ran out of gas somewhere. They were carrying the books in the car, and they ran out of gas. So they thought, we've got to call in the nearest petrol stations. They called in the petrol station. And they must have taken some petrol. So they thought, what have we got? We don't have any money. Let's give him the books. And believe it or not, the man accepted the books. He took the Krishna books instead of the money. These were the first books. They were amazed. So it was by chance, in a way. By chance. So these Krishna books were there. Why were they there in the early days? Because Prabhupada was translating them. Many of you know all this, but just especially for new devotees, they don't know all these stories. Why was Prabhupada giving us Krishna book in the early days? Anyone know why? Huh? He knows. We know he knows. What's your name? Shamantaka? What's your name, Prabhu? Yeah. Srinikirtan. Why? Yeah, he was working on the Bhagavatam, but he was only at like second canto, third canto, and he was thinking, maybe I won't finish the Bhagavatam. Maybe I left my body. So we don't want anyone to misunderstand the 10th canto, because that's the Samam Bonam. That's the smiling face of Krishna. So my disciples have to have it straight from me. What is Krishna? Everything. So he said he wrote a summary study of the Dasama Skanda, 10th canto. That's Krishna book. So today is the we're going to read something from that. I'll just pick and choose from this because today is the Lord Balaram Rasa Yatra. That's Rasa Leela, same as Rasa Leela. And Sri Krishna Vasant Ras. Vasant means spring, you know that. Ras means dance. So it's all about Rasa Leela. So you'll find in the Krishna book, which you have in Hindi also, the few chapters describing the Rasa Dance. And of course, it's tradition amongst the Bhagavat reciters in India, they jump to the Rasa Dance because it's, attractive to the materialist. They want to hear how naughty Krishna is. So, because they themselves are naughty. So, therefore Prabhupada, he wrote many chapters to protect us from this sahajiya tendency. Because we all want to go cheap. We want to go back to Godhead cheaply. We want to think, maybe I'm already a gopi. And I know my eternal form in the spiritual world. We want to jump over the rules and regulations of Vaidhi Bhakti and somehow or other get into Raga Bhakti, spontaneous devotional service. So Prabhupada, he wrote this Rasa Dance introduction. So I'll just pick out a few things from this, which may be of interest. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that the Rasa Dance took place on the full moon night of the Sharat season. So this is a different Rasa Dance. At the age of 7 years, Krishna lifted Govardhan hill. Therefore, the Rasa Dance took place during his 8th year. Krishna was 8 when he did the Rasa Dance. From the Vedic literature, it appears that when a theatrical actor dances Among many dancing girls, the group dance is called a Rasa Dance. When Krishna saw the full moon night of the Sharat season, decorated with various seasonal flowers, he remembered the gopis' prayers to goddess Katyayani. He thought that the full moon night of the Sharat season was just suitable for a night's dance. The words used in this connection in Srimad Bhagavatam are Bhagavan Api. This means that although Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus he has no desire that needs to be fulfilled, because he is always full with 6 opulences, he still wanted to enjoy the company of the gopis in the Rasa Dance. So somebody may say, oh, who is this Krishna dancing with the girls in the middle of the night? Nowadays, I don't know if in Delhi, I think you have raves, and you have, what else do you have? Not boutiques. What are they called? Where everyone dances? Oh, I forgot. I've been a devotee too long. I've forgotten the names. Where everyone goes to dance, the boys and girls. What do they call that? Huh? Discotheque. Oh yeah, discotheque. So we think it must be something like that. But no, because Bhagavan Api, Krishna is not only 8 years old, at that age there's no attraction for the opposite sex, physical attraction. And not only that, he's Bhagavan, Atmaram. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he just lifted Govardhan Hill. Prabhupada said, if you first of all lift Govardhan Hill, then you can do Rasa Dance. Can anyone lift Govardhan Hill? So it counts us out. Most of us, it counts out. So, yeah. So he's self-satisfied, but he wants to please his devotees. The specific words used in Srimad Bhagavatam are Yoga Mayam Upashrita, which means that the dancing with the gopis on the platform of Yoga Maya, not Mahamaya. What's the difference between Yoga Maya and Mahamaya? They're both Maya. Maya means illusion. So, one kind of Maya brings us to this material world. What's that? Which is that? Mahamaya. We forget Krishna out of... Why do we forget Krishna? Why are we here? Huh? Envy. Yeah, we're envious of Krishna. Just like if you see your big boss in the office with his nice secretary and mobile phone and computer, everything, big car, and you're just making the tea every day. You think, if only I could be sitting there. And if you do sit there, and the boss comes in, kick you right out. So, there's a little example Prabhupada gave. So we were kicked right out. Because now we're under Mahamaya. I am the enjoyer. These senses are meant for my enjoyment. Purusha prakritisto hi, punkte prakriti jangunan, karanam guna sangasya, sada sadyoni janmasu. I am the enjoyer. I come to this world. And I'm going through many species of life. Yeah. According to the modes of nature, karanam guna sangasya. But the other kind of Maya is Yoga Maya. And why do we forget Krishna? Huh? Why do the inhabitants of Vrindavan forget Krishna? Do they forget Krishna? They forget He's God. Why? Why do they forget Krishna is God? Yeah, because out of love. Out of love. Like Mother Yashoda is trying to tie up Krishna. She must be mad. How can you tie up Krishna? Yes, she's mad with love for Krishna. So all the gopis are mad with love for Krishna. When he plays his flute, they're under Yoga Maya. They think he's their sweetheart. They're in love with him as an ordinary village boy. They don't know his God. This is called Yogamaya. And the Yogamaya also bewilders Krishna. He's taking part in that Yogamaya. And he's forgetting that he's God. So, this is it. But we can't understand it. The dancing of the young boys and girls within this material world is in the kingdom of Mahamaya, or the external energy. The Rasa Dance of Krishna with the gopis is on the platform of Yogamaya. The difference between the platform of Yogamaya and Mahamaya is compared in the Chaitanya Charitamrita to the difference between something and something. Two kinds of metal. Gold and iron. Yes. From the viewpoint of metallurgy, gold and iron are both metals, but the quality is completely different. Similarly, although the Rasa Dance and Lord Krishna's association with the gopis appears like the ordinary mixing of young boys and girls, the quality is completely different. Because the Sankirtan Movement begins with this Anartha Nivritti. When we chant Hare Krishna, Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Abhadreshu, all the dirty things, are cleaned from our heart, gradually, by hearing about Krishna, the Rasa Dance, these great devotees. And we become purer, anarthas. Therefore, when we join Hare Krishna, four rules are what? No meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication. For some people this is impossible to do. It is very difficult. But by chanting Hare Krishna, it becomes possible because of this Anartha Nivritti. Therefore we have congregational preaching all over the world. In England we have nice congregational preaching, especially to local English people. We have an interesting program. I don't know if anyone could think of it in Delhi. Probably not necessary in Delhi, because everyone likes to go to temples. But in England, who wants to go to temples? Therefore, that's Hinduism. That's organized religion. No one likes organized religion in England. The churches are empty. Maybe the mosques, they have a few followers. But most churches are just like museums. Hardly anybody there. So the real religion is what? Shopping. You do your karma, you get some money, and then you spend it. So my disciple Dinadayadri, he invented a motto: until consumerism pops. In other words, as long as consumerist culture is going on, the modern economy, chant Hare Krishna and open shops. So he started this very successful program of small shops with all Indian goods, Buddhist goods, and spiritual things, murtis, of course Krishna, Prabhupada's books, and clothes, Eastern-looking clothes, fashionable for certain people. People come in, young people, looking around the shop, and devotees are waiting for them. Not with tilak, but just to make friends, make friendship. And if the friendship is deepening a little bit, they're invited to a home program. Not Hare Krishna, not temple. Come and take a meal with us. We'll teach you how to cook vegetarian food and bhakti yoga. So they don't mention we're ISKCON or Hare Krishna. If you do that, they may run a mile. That's what it's like in England. So then they come to the flat and they give them prasadam, do a little yoga. People are into yoga there. They do a bit of hatha yoga for 15-20 minutes, and then teach them mantra yoga, give them prasadam, make more friendship, and then private conversation, what are you doing, and everything. Making friends, open-hearted, talk about self-realization. So this is how it's going. It's successful in England, this program. And Prabhupada's books, people take Prabhupada's books from the shop. They want to take them. They're not forced. Oh, this looks interesting book, let me take one. Bhagavad Gita. You pay the full price for the books. So it's a very nice program. So this Sankirtan, Rameshwar also asked Prabhupada, is this Sankirtan book distribution, is that the mood of the gopis? Yes. Because the mood of the gopis is that they don't want to take anything from Krishna. They want to give everything to please Krishna. So Sankirtan is like that. It's not under the material energy. It's under the spiritual energy. It's actually Yoga Maya. We're acting as servants of Krishna when we distribute the books. And it's on the spiritual platform. So Sankirtan movement is purifying even in the neophyte stage. We can be, although we may not be liberated, we're like mangoes, green mangoes. We're acting as mango, but maybe we can put in the chutney, green mango chutney. But if we continue this process, Vaidhi Bhakti, and becomes Raganuga, becomes more spontaneous, eventually we come to the platform of acting like the gopis, spontaneously, and not caring for anything. Now we join ISKCON. We think, oh, what will my parents think? I borrowed that money from the bank. I have to pay it back. Many students think that. I went through college. I borrowed 4 lakhs rupees. I've got to pay it back. Otherwise I'll be put in prison. So there's some material consideration. But the gopis, they left home. Their kids, their families, they didn't even dress properly. And some of their family members locked them up. They left their bodies. They didn't care for reputation, what their parents would think, what the government would think. They gave up everything for Krishna. Total surrender. They went to Krishna and surrendered to Krishna. Just like his dolls. So, it's just very high level. We can't pretend. We're not saying everyone should stop paying their loans to the bank. But, the gopis didn't care about their loans to the bank. Because after many, many births, they'd qualified to become village girls in Vrindavan. After Yesham Trantakata Papam Jananam Punya Kamanam Tredvanva Mohane Mukta Bhajanti Mam Dridavada. After many, many births, they become qualified to take birth as gopis. They are not ordinary girls. And Krishna is not an ordinary person. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is, time is up now. So this is all I'll say about the Rasa Dance. So please don't think Rasa Dance is something ordinary. Read Prabhupada's books. Read the introduction to the Rasa Dance in the Krishna book. And then read the Rasa Dance. All the arguments are there to understand the Rasa Dance. And then you'll understand that this movement of ISKCON, Prabhupada, is perfectly designed by Srila Prabhupada to bring us up to the highest level of devotional service. But we must be patient. Just like you go to college, you can't expect to walk away with a degree on the first day. And if you're learning 2 and 2 equals 4, can you understand calculus? Anyone understand calculus? It's very advanced mathematics. I never understood it. I know 2 and 2 equals 4. But even, do you know -2 equals -4? Can you understand that? Can you understand minus numbers? And then algebra, geometry, trigonometry, logarithms. So it's not easy if we're in the beginning stage. You can't just jump to the calculus stage and advanced mathematics. So now we're in a conditioned stage, we're just becoming devotees. We should be patient, determined, and please our spiritual master. This is the secret of success. This way we will make our progress, and eventually we'll be able to join the Rasa Leela. I say the wrong thing. Maybe not in this life, after many, many lifetimes. Srila Prabhupada ki. So thank you very much. Any questions, please? Hare Krishna. I have a mic.
Thank you, Maharaj, for a nice class. One question is, what is the right understanding of reading Prabhupada books effectively?
What is the
right understanding of effective study of Prabhupada books?
What is the?
Right understanding of effective study of Prabhupada books. Effective study of Prabhupada books. What's the effective way of studying?
Of course, it depends a lot on your culture. If you're a student and you're used to academic methods of learning, then I'm sure that's right. You study Prabhupada's books. If you haven't been trained in that way and you learn in other ways by reading the books you like. I always used to learn by getting a book and reading it on my own. That's how I always learned, because I wanted to read that book. And the things I learned at school in the classes, I was forced to read. So it depends on your mentality and your culture, the best ways. Now in ISKCON, we have different programs for studying Prabhupada's books, VIHE, MIHE, and I'm sure here in ISKCON Delhi, you have time for reading the books and you have classes. But when I first joined, we used to have Bhagavatam class in the morning. Then we used to go on Harinam and book distribution. We used to come back at lunch. Used to take lunch. And then there used to be Ishopanishad class. Then we used to go out again in the afternoon on Harinam and book distribution. And then we used to come back in the evening. And I think there was sometimes Upadesh Amrita class. There was also Bhagavad Gita class in the evening. So we were interspersed with our service, we were hearing regularly the books. Now, I prefer that program personally. If I just put aside some time and just study week after week, month after month, I don't think it will be so effective for me. You have to decide what's effective for you. There's no point in wasting time. Some people learn in a lifestyle format. Say you're a Sankirtan devotee, you have a class in the morning, class in the evening. Then your mind is fresh and purified by Sankirtan. When you read the words, it sinks in. And it's corroborated by your own experiences on Sankirtan and the people you meet. So, for myself, that's how I tended to learn. But I think for others, it may be different. And you may like to learn in a more formal like academic situation. I don't know. But the main thing is to accept what is favorable for devotional service. We must hear from Prabhupada's books. We must absorb it. So you have to look at your own mentality with your intelligence and think, what is the best way that I can learn and absorb these books? Am I the sort of person that must be active and do some service and then hear for some time and let it become absorbed into my heart? Or am I the sort of person that can sit down for 5 hours and just soak it all in and remember it? You have to decide. You consult your authorities. But the main thing is hearing. Anyway, either way you must hear submissively. Just like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. This is a very important verse of Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 7, text 1. Prabhupada gave a Bhagavad Gita class 26 times on this verse. Maya Shakta Manapata Yogam Yunjan Madashaya Asamshayam Samagramam Yatagya Sasichatrinu. Just hear from me, Arjuna. Just hear from me. This is Krishna's statement. How by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind absorbed in me, you can know me in full. So we're little Arjunas. We're little Arjunas. And we have to hear from Krishna and the disciplic succession. However you want to hear, that's a detail. Maybe you'll only want to hear when you're, I don't know, taking bath. Some people like to hear Prabhupada lecture when they're doing their ablutions in the morning. Their mind is fresh, and they wash it, they're cleaning their teeth, and they're listening and taking shower. It goes into their brains. Some people, they like to hear it on the bus, or when they're driving. Some people, they're driving to work, they put on a Prabhupada lecture. It's just going in. You have to find the time it goes in. It hits the heart. Srila Prabhupada King. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Bande Krishna. Prabhupada used to, when Prabhupada finished the class, of course I'm not Prabhupada, but he did say, have kirtan. So I always like to sing this song after the class. Bande Krishna Nanda Kumara. Nanda Kumara Madana Gopala. Madana Gopala Mohana Rupa. Mohana Rupa Nanda Kumara. Jaya Jaya Deva Hari. Govinda Hari Gopala Hari. Govinda Hari Govinda Hari Gopala Hari. Jaya Prabhu Dina Dayala Hari. Bande Krishna Nanda Kumara. Nanda Kumara Madana Gopala. Madana Gopala Mohana Rupa. Mohana Rupa Nanda Kumara. Jaya Jaya Deva Hare. Krishna Hare Jaya Rama Hare. Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hare. Hare